Hello and thanks for tuning into the show that goes around the continent to bring you stories near and far. I'm Yahaya Rogers at Channels Television here in Lagos, and I'm joined by Vincent McCory from the Voice of America in Washington, D.C.
Thanks. I'm Vincent McCory at the Voice of America. Happy to be with you again for another edition of Africa 54. Let's start off with the latest from Nigeria. Yahaya Rogers in Lagos brings you that story.
Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has distributed the sum of 50 million naira to 250 elderly citizens in Zamfara State under the Renewed Hope Initiative Elderly Support Scheme, second edition. Flagging off the distribution of the funds in Gusau, she says the program is designed to support the welfare of old persons annually.
Elderly citizens gathered in their numbers in this hall to receive support from Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, as she distributed 50 million naira under the Renewed Hope Initiative Elderly Support Scheme. The initiative, now in its second edition, provides financial assistance to 250 elderly Nigerians in Zamfara State, with each beneficiary receiving 200,000 naira. The program is part of the wife of the president, Mrs. Tinubu's commitment to improving the welfare of Nigerians. The First Lady was represented by the Zamfara State Governor's wife, Hajia Huria Lawal, says the beneficiaries, aged 65 and above, were carefully selected from the less privileged, army veterans and police officers' wives. The grant was increased from 100,000 naira to 200,000 naira this year to provide more support to elderly Nigerians during the festive season.
I commend all our First Ladies, RHI coordinators and partners for their efforts in making this day a reality. I congratulate all our senior citizens who have been selected as beneficiaries. I urge you to remember to prioritize your health even as we enjoy and celebrate in this festive season. Eat well, stay hydrated, do a little exercise like walking and getting adequate rest.
Chairman of Talata Mafara Local Government Area, Yahaya Yari, commends the First Lady for her thoughtful intervention.
My office stands ready to collaborate tirelessly, ensuring that the government efforts of amplifying and the well-being of our citizens, especially the elderly, remain a top priority. Together, we will continue to work toward a more inclusive and caring Zamfara State.
Some of the beneficiaries also thank the First Lady for going the extra mile to improve their living conditions. The Renewed Hope Initiative Elderly Support Scheme was introduced as part of the broader agenda of the First Lady's office to provide social welfare to the senior citizens across the country.
Joining us to discuss the financial support to the elderly in Zamfara State is the chairman, Talata Mafara Local Government Area, Yahaya Yari. Welcome to Africa 54.
Thank you for having me, my sister.
Right. So the First Lady, Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, has distributed 50 million naira to 250 elderly citizens in Zamfara State, as she's been doing for those elderly people across the country. What impact will it be on those elderly citizens? What is expected? What is it expected to achieve?
Honestly, the impact of this are more, but the most one is eradicate the poverty among the elderly people across the nation, which is very important and very wise thinking by the way of Mr. President to bring this initiative to the country. In Zamfara, before this, our First Lady, the wife of our governor, started this before the Mr. President's wife came in for this program. In the year 2023, the First Lady go around across the 14 local governments of the state, distributing 50,000 in envelopes to the women and the elderly people. So this distribution make a very good impact to the elderly people or to the beneficiary of all this distribution. We will not surprise that the wife of the president did this, because we know Tinubu since he became a governor of Lagos State, and we know what he did then. And she too, we know all what she made during her 4 years tenure in Senate, and we know the contribution that she gave to the people of our constituency, of our senatorial district in Lagos State. So this contribution that she used to give to the elderly people in the nation, they have already started before now, and we're expecting that and more and more and more from them. And also, our mother of the state, I mean the First Lady of the state, they have idea, the same idea to bring everybody along in the government, to carry everybody along in the system. So even our elderly people are not left behind. So honestly, this thing make much impact, not only in Zamfara state, in the nation entirely. And we Zamfara people are thanking the wife of Mr. President, and we are urging her to continue.
Right, and you know that obviously there are more than 250 elderly citizens in Zamfara state, but only 250 were chosen to benefit from, this first phase, second phase at least. What's the criteria for, knowing who to give and who not to give at this time?
Honestly speaking, before this beneficiary received their gesture from the wife of Mr. President, we create a committee, awareness committee for those elderly people before they receive the gesture of the wife of Mr. President, and give them a 2 days workshop to teach them, to train them what they are going to use, what they are going to do with the money, how they are going to use it and utilize it in order to start on their feet, not relying on anybody as elderly as they are. So I think this is a very nice initiative, and we as Zamfara State people are very, very interested and appreciate it.
Right, indeed. And you mentioned severally that the wife of the Zamfara State governor is also, in a similar initiative to elderly people and vulnerable groups in the state. Tell us more about that and the impact it's making.
The impact is to eradicate poverty among the people, because Zamfara State people are suffering from insurgent and insecurity. So there is elderly people, those that are displaced, they migrate to the towns, to the headquarters of the local government, and they stay there stranded. No businesses, no anything to do. So the wife of the executive governor thinking that it's good for her to start something that can help those displaced elderly people, to give them something that they can start with their small businesses since earlier 2023, before the wife of Mr. President bring this initiative. I can say that maybe I'm not sure. Maybe the wife of Mr. President look at the program of our First Lady, and she modernize it.
We do know that, contrary to some opinion, women do actually learn from each other, and they They try to copy what's good, especially coming from the mother of the nation. But sampling the opinion of citizens in Zamfara State, what's their impression over such distribution of, that sum of money to the elderly?
Honestly speaking, Mama Dixon, this money puts smile on the faces of the elderly people of Zamfara State. They are appreciated what the wife of Mr. President doing, and also praying for Tinubu a success in his government, because any successful man, there must be a successful wife, a good wife behind him.
We must thank you for your time on the program today. That's the Chairman, Talata Mafara Local Government Area of Zamfara State, Mr. Yahaya Yari. And compliments of the season once again.
Thank you very much.
We want to know what you think about Africa 54 and the stories we cover. Join the conversation on Facebook. The address is Africa 54. And check out our headlines 24/7 on voaafrica.com. After the break, the United States and Germany launch a joint conflict stability program for West African coastal states. The grassroots initiative works with communities to address causes of instability and promote good governance and economic growth. Welcome back to Africa 54. I'm Vincent McCory in Washington. The United States and Germany have launched a $40 million joint initiative, the Coastal States Stability Mechanism, or CSSM, across 5 West African states, focusing on countering terrorism and extremism. Unlike past military-driven efforts, this program emphasizes community-led development approaches to address the root causes of instability and promote good governance and economic development. Senator Todd reports from Yendi in Ghana.
At Yendi in northern Ghana, US and German delegates handed over police equipment to local leaders to mark the launch of a new initiative to protect communities from the growing threat of terrorism and extremism spilling over from the Sahel. The Coastal State Stability Mechanism, or CSSM, focuses on tackling the root causes of regional instability through community-led solutions, improved governance, and economic development, marking a shift away from the traditional military approach to conflict resolution. Before its launch, the program supported vulnerable communities by improving healthcare facilities, providing solar energy, and enhancing community leadership programs.
One might think just about security services for building security, but security is about more than that. It's about the whole community. It's about building resilient societies. And yes, of course, it is about the ability of the police to conduct their work and to do it in a way that has the trust of the community, but it's about these other pieces as well.
Experts say violent extremists often exploit developmental gaps to radicalize communities. Ghana's National Security Interagency Coordinator, Baba Sayuti, explains that the CSSM partnership strengthens the nation's capacity to address these gaps and prevent terrorism.
So for us partnering with CSM, Coastal State Stability Mechanism, to be able to provide the needs whereby the state is not able to do it, it's a way in order to reduce this kind of thing. That's why I'm saying that they are helping the first pillar, that is the prevention.
Despite these efforts, Ghana's Northeast Regional Minister, Yidana Zakaria, warns of visible signs of terrorist activity. Zakaria explained to delegates that northern Ghana's proximity to the Sahel makes it easy for suspicious individuals to enter the country under the guise of religious clerics or refugees seeking aid.
They come and go. Sometimes you don't even know where they stay. And we are worried about that. They are not necessarily beggars. They could also be gathering intelligence. The question is, how do they even get into the country? Because they don't have any document to show that they have come through approved entry points. That gives room for worry.
You can expect more partners to join the program, and that certainly is our goal. We're better when we work. We're better when we're together. Each of us brings a certain set of experiences, types of resources to the table.
For the next 3 years, CSSM will operate in 5 coastal West African states: Benin, Ivory Coast, Ghana, Guinea, and Togo in an effort to help defend these countries from the Sahel insurgencies. Sana Anutot, VOA News, Yendi, Ghana.
The British High Commissioner to the country, Mr. Richard Montgomery, have been invested as patron and vice patron of the Nigeria-Britain Association at the investiture event in Lagos. Both men were recognized and honored for their years of diplomatic works in fostering bilateral relations between both countries. Our correspondent, Yahaya Yari, reports.
They have received several decorations.
Celebrating eminent diplomats with years of vast experience, this investiture honors two men doing great work in fostering bilateral relations between Nigeria and Britain,
including GCON.
The Nigeria-Britain Association put together this honorable ceremony to confer on Nigeria's elder statesman, Chief Emeka Anyaoku, as the patron of the NBA, and British High Commissioner Richard Montgomery, the vice patron of Nigeria-Britain Association.
I have been a member of Nigeria-Britain Association for many years. I was, for some years, vice patron under Akintola Williams. And it's a great honor to have been asked to succeed him. And I believe that the association is doing a very good job and has a very important job in the future, because relations between Nigeria and United Kingdom, not only on the level of government, but on the level of the people. And Britain-Nigeria Association operates at the level of the people.
And please put your hands together for both of them.
Next is the investiture of British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Richard Montgomery.
You as our vice patron.
Well, I'm really delighted and honoured to be invested as the Vice Patron of the Nigeria-Britain Association. And it's even more of an honour to be alongside Chief Emeka. You know, what a global statesman. Not just someone who's fostered ties between the UK and Nigeria, but also globally through the Commonwealth. This is a sort of association that builds our people-to-people links between our two countries, which is really the foundation. It's friends, families, businesses that have links between both our countries that really build the strength of the bond.
Relations between the two countries have held strong, with different partnerships and MOUs in place. Formed in 1969, Nigeria-Britain Association seeks to find friendship for a common good. Layo Olaride, Channels Television News.
It's time now for a short break. As we do, we remind you to visit our website, channelstv.com, for news and programming around the clock. You can also find us at youtube.com/channelsweb. And still to come, we travel to the Al-Kabulan Immigrants Global Heritage Festival for a celebration of diversity in Johannesburg, South Africa.
Welcome back to Africa 54. Vincent McCory in Washington. Farmers in Kenya are using artificial intelligence to help them get better crop yields. An AI-powered tool called Virtual Agronomist engages directly with farmers to help them create tailored plans to optimize the quality and quantity of their crops. Mohammed Yusuf has more from Mwea in Kenya.
Henry Gichobi is using a tool powered by artificial intelligence to assess the soil fertility on his farm in Mwea, Kenya. The AI app, called Virtual Agronomist, uses a chatbot to communicate directly with small-scale farmers through WhatsApp. Using satellite information, the tool gathers and analyzes data to help Gichobi learn the right type and amount of fertilizers and chemicals needed to maximize his crop yields.
For this technology, it has helped me to know the type of nutrients in the soil, and also it has helped me to know the type of fertilizer to apply in the soil. Okay, before this technology, I was harvesting less than 20 bags, but after applying this technology, it has helped me to harvest 26 bags and above.
Gichobi uploads photos of his farm. In return, virtual agronomist sends back satellite images of his land and recommendations on how to get the biggest and highest quality crop yields. And at a time when farmers face changing weather patterns and the impact of climate change, the app also offers advice on the best type and amount of chemicals to combat pests and disease on the farmers' plots. Nicholas Kinyua, also a farmer, says the AI tool also helped him increase his rice harvest from 20 to 26 bags this season.
I was applying a lot of chemicals on my farm, and now I am using less money compared to when I was planting using traditional methods. This technology has helped me today to harvest more food.
Judy Kaguya says she saved money using the virtual agronomist and expects a larger rice yield when she's done harvesting in coming weeks.
I believe I'm going to harvest much more food from my farm compared to before. I used too much fertilizer in the past, which cost me a lot and left me unhappy. But now I feel so happy visiting my farm. It fills my heart with joy.
The Innovative Solutions for Decision Agriculture, or ISDA, helps train farmers how to use the app. The organization says over 30,000 farmers in Africa, half of them in Kenya, are using the virtual agronomist. Officials say the tool has soil data for the entire continent and helps farmers plant and manage crops such as maize, coffee and tea.
The system wants to know what the best farmer is doing so that the farmer is given a recommendation to at least bring the farmer to the best farmer. We want to bridge the gap because if they are coming from the same locality and the best farmer is doing 30 bags, let's say, and the farmer is doing 20, we want to give the farmer a recommendation that can bring the farmer almost to the best farmer.
Wanyaka says it will take some time to convince many farmers that more fertilizer and chemicals does not necessarily mean they will yield more and better crops. Mohammed Yusuf, VOA News, Mwea, Kenya.
Hundreds of people gathered in Johannesburg, South Africa for the Al-Kabulan Immigrants Global Heritage Festival, held under the theme Celebrating Diversity and Building Networks that Transcend Borders. Organizers of the festival describe it as more than just a ceremony, saying that it's a celebration of journeys, achievements, and positive contributions, reflecting the spirit of unity and Ubuntu. Our correspondent, Innocent Samusa, reports.
It was a day to celebrate African heritage, unity and diversity. With vibrant dance performances, Africans gathered to honor the Al-Kabulan Festival, a celebration of unity and cultural diversity. I took the opportunity to ask attendees what they love most about being African.
Oh my God, I love everything about being an African. I love how we do things, how we explore, how we're willing to learn about different cultures, different backgrounds. Because we as African, we have different cultures, we have different dances.
Mainly the tapestry of how we as Africans communicate through dance and drama. So being here, looking at different instruments, looking at the skills, I felt like I needed that to take my mind all around out of the busy world that I enjoy every day.
The event featured the Al-Kabulan Kemetic Experience, a one-stop cultural experience offering a wide range of African clothing. Some attendees emphasized the importance of unity among African nations.
Unity is the password for every success and development. We believe that Africa was united before colonialism, and after colonialism, the unity was missed.
Africans to be united, first of all, each one must have self-love for themselves.
I think firstly, we have to first learn about each other. We need to have tolerance, Ubuntu, for ourselves. We must remember that we come from the same soil. The fact that we are divided by borders doesn't mean anything. It's a system that was put in place.
African cultures are also renowned for their clan names and their rich traditions of storytelling. From the heart of Johannesburg, the El Kebulan Festival was a vivid reminder of the power of unity, heritage, and the shared spirit that binds African nations together. From Johannesburg, South Africa, Innocent Samos, Channels Television News.
Well, and that's our show for today. You can find all the continent's top news and world news online at voaafrica.com. Check it out. I'm Vincent McCory in Washington. Channels Television has our last word.
We look forward to bringing you another show next week. Remember that channelstv.com is your source for news and other programming. I'm Joke Rogers. Thanks for watching and goodbye.